G'day, welcome back to 7 Billion Humans. So today we're going to start off from level 21 and see if we can still keep moving through these with any sort of pace. All these years I've evaluated many workers just like you, but they've also been evaluating me, and the ratings are in. On a scale from 0 to 99, how would you rate me? Print out these evaluations and we'll see how I did. Workers, please take my evaluation data cubes from the printer, but if you pick up a number less than 50, then just toss it in the shredder and go print another one. All workers must hold numbers of 50 or higher. Yes, I'm doing great. And the data supports it. Interesting. Interesting. Now, one thing I just want to mention first is a few people have said to me when I stack if sentences questions inside of other if questions. If I go if and then go else, people are saying that then you should use then a third condition. So what is it? If then else or and so on. But I don't think there is another option. Like, unless I'm completely missing where this next sort of indented or else or sort of continuation from this one thought is, it just may not exist either yet in the game, or it just doesn't exist, or I just can't see it. So if it does exist in there, definitely let me know how it where it appears. Okay. So we need everyone to end up holding a number that is greater than 50. So we would want to, what we need to do then is get everyone to walk down one step. So we go, firstly step down. If this, well, let's think. This is already stumped me. All right. If that equals, well, firstly we can get everyone to step down. We can just leave, no, because we just don't need to start with an initial step. This can already jump straight into our logic puzzle here. If, oh, cool, there's an if my item now. If direction that way equals nothing, no, I've got that wrong, I reckon. Okay, if it equals a printer, then take form. And then we can embed an if on that. If my item equals now the way I always remember which is greater than or less than is the bigger side is the bigger side, bigger number. So that would be greater than this. So 60 greater than 30. This would be 30 less than 60. Greater than or equal to. Click and hold to scroll numbers faster. Thank you. Equal or greater to than 50. Then step left. Step up. Jump. That. So just continue to walk north until you hit the wall. We don't, like, basically get it, go straight up, and then just sort of join a line up here. So they're completely out of the way. If my item equals 50 step thing, else, else give to that one. So then they would come down. If it's that, else give to step left. No, because then they can go into a repeater. So then they can go. That's still give to. And then go jump to here. So they go through taking the form. If it's printed, it's greater than 50, then step right and keep going. Else, give it to the shredder, and then jump back up to the top and take form. Take from that way. Take from. I keep saying take form. Okay. So that should be the process of what they do once they get here. So now the next thing that we need to do is the if it equals a printer, else step. Where's my else? There it is. Else step forward and then jump back to the top. See how that goes. All three of them will like it. This guy shouldn't like it, so you okay. So they won't. So the downfall there is that they don't diagonally. They don't diagonally ditch it like I was hoping they would. Give to that. Well, then what we can do is go step and then just chuck in a little if this way equals worker, then step up, else step that way. Alright, let's try that. So now it should say if he chucks it here, if this is a worker who steps up, if that's a worker who steps up. Wait, where has he gotten stuck? What's he saying? There they go. Can't take from nothing. Why are they getting confused? Yeah, let's work this out. Who do we want? We want this guy. So the guy that's got to pick something up. So he goes. Take form. Okay. If it's above 50, then do all that, but it doesn't. So it's else give to that. Step up. If to the right equals a worker, step up. And then it jumps to take form. So I've got to just have a jump in here where I've missed it. So we want jump to here. There, I think. Let's try that. I feel like there might be somewhere else where I don't have a conclusion. So there becomes a gap behind them. So this section here actually needs to go else. If that equals a printer, take form. If that else, give to else step. So I think it's that is what we want. And then we need this to jump as well. Let's try that. Oh, now I've got everyone wandering the wrong way. Oh, now what have I done? Okay. If this equals, let's go play it down. Okay, if that equals a printer, I'll step down. If that equals a worker, step up. I'll step right. Yeah. Oh, I put myself further away now, it seems. So, I think. I'm close, I've just got to get the order of my steps. I'll step down. Step down if think it's to do with where this ends up. So if I go down and go undo, undo to where I sort of had it originally. Give to else if that equals a worker, step up. Now I think this jump here should actually go to here. And then if it's that, then jump to here. And then start that process. Let's try that. Have I broken it? Alright, going backwards. That's the problem when you make a tinker, you sort of, you roll your whole thing. Okay, so if down one equals a printer, then take the form, and then all of that's in there, else step down. I think my order's still wrong here, but let's just give this a quick go. They're getting stuck in that. I was so much closer and I've definitely made a mess of it. Okay. If it's not the printer, step down. If this is a worker, then step up. It's if it's a worker, step up, else step right. But I don't want them jumping into that. I've now put this in the wrong spot again, right? This is meant to be after the shred command. So this should be here. No. Give to step up. Yeah. So then that jump should be here. Actually, probably don't even need that step there. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so this guy should get rid of his. Step up, step across. There we go. Lovely. There we got there. Alrighty. Certainly not 8 commands. 32-second target. We got there in 31. Take it. Okay, 22. Roll, roll, roll. When you press play, the button and the data cubes will each land on a random number. Only the worker with the highest number may remain. All workers must pick up the data cube directly in front of them. Only the worker or workers with the highest data cube may remain. All other workers must dive with their cubes into the disposal hole. Tip from management. Want to compare something you're holding with someone else? Just use if command to compare my item with whichever tile your neighbor is standing on. If your workers are smart enough to know you want to compare their items to yours. Okay. So basically we've got to narrow it down to a single person. So. Step down. Actually, I think that's where I'm wasting a step, because yeah, I think someone pointed that out in one of the comments too. All I have to do is say pick up down, and they'll get down there. I don't need to get them to step and then pick up on the square they're on. Very valid point. Save a spot. Okay, if my item is I think my direction is greater than, oh, how do we do this? Just use if command to compare my item with whichever tile your neighbor is standing on. Your workers are smart enough to know you want to compare their items. Okay. If my item is less than my item is less than a data cube. Oh, there's my and an or. Yeah, that's where it is. And my item... I'm not saying a direction, am I? How do I give a direction for this? If my item is less than data cube. So I can't say if my item's less than the data cube to my left. If direction left equals a data cube, and my item is less than data cube, then step down. Else, step left. Now I'm just going to roll that as an initial step just to see what happens. So everyone picks it up. So then we're just going that if this equals a data cube, what's less than a data cube? Oh, that's the comparison. If my item is less than, okay, let's try that. Still no one's stepping down. This one is just purely based on the logic of this command. If command, to use the if command to compare my item with whichever tile your neighbor is standing on. If is greater than my item. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Why are these guys swapping around? Okay. Now, the problem is that there's going to be one person on the far left, on the far right, sorry, that now isn't going to be applying to this, so... or direction that way greater than my item. Step left, jump. And I mean we can just say step twice there, and that should be the end of that one. Let's see how that goes. Cool. Alright, so it's just basically when these guys walk, they don't step far enough, so we can just say... they don't move, so they've got to step 3 times. I mean, I could just put a jump in here. Alright, cool. Let's see if that's within the time limit. 6 or fewer. Ah, didn't do too bad then. Pretty happy with that one. Alright. Now every time I feel like we get a jettison off, that's where I start to struggle, so I'm on notice for those next two. Don't be alarmed. Do not make any sudden movements or step out of line. Being evaluated. I need you to calmly sort out the line of cubes from the smallest on the left to the biggest on the right. Okay. Now, the big question here is how are they going to cope with walking through each other? So, that will be our test here. So we'll say pick up down. I'll just try basically the same thing. If my direction that way equals... Sorry, if that direction is... What did I want? Cool. If both try to walk to another's tile, they'll swap positions. Smallest on the left. Okay, so if we go if to the left is greater than my item. It's greater than. And to the left is greater than my item. Then step smallest on the left, so we'd say step left, else step right. And then we swing around. Let's just see what happens with that. This guy's not doing anything. Why is he not? Oh, because it's got to be an ore. Okay. Does it have to be an ore? I don't know. Let's find out what happens if we do this as an ore. We're going to have guys that just wandered to the edge. That was much worse. Okay, so think if it's greater than my item to the left and the right, what do we do with the person on the far side? I mean, you could sort of say if there's no one... I mean, this would make the code way longer, but you could say if there's no one to my left, then... And sort of kick it in that they're only looking at someone to their right. I don't feel like that's going to be the quickest solution here. Nothing else is coming to me. So it would be if... I mean, we could go if direction that equals nothing. And that equal... I mean, this is basically what I said I wasn't going to do, but I can't think of anything else. That equals nothing, and that is greater than my item. Then it would sort of be then just jump, because you don't want them to do anything. Else step left, if it's greater than my item. That is, if this is greater than my item. No, it'd be if it's less than my item. And then the opposite. That equals nothing. And that is greater than my item. Then wait, I've got something wrong here. Let me fix this. So this jump is wrong, because it would be jump to here. My item equals... Hang on, I'll make sure I've got this written right. If this one equals nothing, and the one to my right is less than my number, then jump, else step right. If to my right equals nothing, and to my left equals a number greater than mine, then step left. I mean, it would be else do nothing. So let's see what that ends up looking like. So everyone stepped right. Which is okay, because it was just sort of the first instruction. So how did these guys get out the bottom? Just that they didn't have another if. So let's check another jump down there. Check that up here. I've got to put a command on what to do next here. I feel I've got that around the wrong way. To your left equals nothing, and to your right equals an item less than yours. Because an item greater than yours. Less than step. Your left equals nothing. And then we need to jump this back up here. Let's jump down. This one needs a jump too. Step jump up there. And then this one. It's definitely one thing I've got to get in the habit of doing is making sure that the jumps allow everyone to continue on. So just adding all my jumps. Let's see how that goes. Now these guys that have wandered off to the edge, I mean it doesn't much matter as long as everyone ends up being in the right order. But it's not because this guy here has just stopped what he's doing. Oh boy. Alright. Let's think about this. Feels like it's these two outside ones that have just my if whatever equals nothing stuff. Let's scrap that. Let's scrap that. I just want to play this out to watch it. But basically, they sort of correct. It's just that sort of else here, I think. That's the problem. Because it's just otherwise just step that way. So maybe I've just got to embed an if here. So it's the opposite. If this one is less than... So we've actually got to do greater than or equal to. Is less than or equal to my item, and direction is less than or equal to my item and step. Jump. Alright, let's just see what that does. Why is this guy still wandering? No, I mean, it's just that he had the highest number, I suppose. But the problem is that once we've got a gap in the middle, these guys sort of do just break away to... But why is this guy here just constantly walking? They just stuck on that step. But why are they not jumping back up to the top of this? Why are they adamant that they're... Oh, it's because this guy hasn't moved. So... Okay, so if my item to the left or the right is greater than, so we'll say this guy, say for example he's got 90. If his number is greater than the person to his left, it's something about the fact that there's someone at the end that this doesn't necessarily apply to. I just can't nail it down. Let's think. Alright, start again from the top. If to your left equals equals nothing, or to your right equals nothing. I don't think it's an or. It's if that equals nothing, if that equals, if that is greater than or equal to my item, step left, else jump, and then jump here too. Let's just play that out. So for this guy, if that's this, let's just quickly play to see if there's anyone. There's 95 would basically be who's would get on. So why is this guy adamant he needs to be stepping right? Because he shouldn't be. Have I just got this around the wrong way? If right is greater than or equal to my item. Now I've got one of these around the wrong way because I'm giving them the same instruction. If right or the left is greater than my item, then they should be stepping left. If it's less than or equal to... Sorry for those that would have been seeing that and screaming at me. Alright, let's just play that out. Now again, these guys have just gotten stuck. If left and right are less than step, so why are you not moving? Because left and both are bigger than you, so you should be reverting back to the top and hitting this rule. Have I just got my indents wrong here, or... Oh, is it just that there's no else? Alright, let's see what happens if we go... That must be it, right? Oh, they've just indented out. That's the problem. My goodness. Else jump to the top. Why are you content? Why are you not doing anything? This doesn't apply to you, does it? If right and left are less than you, they're less than my item, then step right. So you're wanting to step right. So why are you not doing anything? But why are you still moving through the process, but you're not interested in making that change? What am I missing with that one guy? Everyone else is doing an incredible job. Everyone else is correct, except for these guys that he won't let them play through. So again, there's just a whole bunch of guys that are getting stuck on... Eventually you're going to reach a point where you shouldn't move anymore because you've found your final spot, but surely that should mean that the people around you are still adjusting and you would still adjust. So say this 76 here, why is he happy? If to your right equals nothing. Now, is it potentially that he is just seeing it as though this guy's already attempting to move? No, because he's now saying, alright, no, there's something... I don't understand why nothing applies to him. Oh, because one's right and one's wrong? Right. Right. Okay. So it should be just the one direction. Let's wipe this out and start again. Okay. So the problem that I've got is that currently I'm telling them they have to be standing between two that don't apply, which is wrong. It should just be the one. So it is pick up, The one there. If to your left there is nothing. Actually, let's try and just not worry about that part for now. If we, no. If we get that part wrong, that's fine. So we're going to say if to your left there is a number greater than your item and step left. Let's put in a new, if there's a number to your right that is less than your item. No. If there's a number, if that is greater than your item, step left. That item is greater than yours, step right. Jump. Let's just see what happens. Don't tell me it was that easy. Oh my goodness. I mean, that was close. Why did this one not... Is that the only one that... Can you go away so I can see what my end result was? Not there. Okay, one person wasn't in the right spot. I can't imagine I'm going to be within the time limit here. This feels like this is going to be... Right, so how have you fallen out the bottom? That's the problem. So we just have to chuck a jump at the bottom. Jump you back to the top. Alright, try that. We did it. Wow, that was much less complicated than I delved into there. Got there. Not too bad. Alright, well, in fear of those brigade ones taking a long time, that's probably long enough for this session. Thanks for watching. Apologies, that sorting hole one could definitely have some of you pulling your hair out. Until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.